Hey everyone, my name is 𝐒𝐚𝐲. You can call me Mo if it's easier. I'm the team leader of the 𝐒𝐚𝐲 real estate team, and we actively sell real estate across the Durham region and GTA as a full-time sales representative team. Wow, that's a mouthful. So it is that time of the month, guys, where we have the most recent market report and stats with you. I'm going to share my screen with you, go over the notary mentions, but stay until the end so I can talk to you about the interest rate hike and what it means for you going forward. Today's been a very active day because today at 10 a.m. they increased the interest rate by 75 basis points and my phone has been going off. Okay, so in the month of August, we saw a 15% increase in the number of residential transactions. The number was 806. That being said, we also saw a decrease in the number of listings by 13%. Now, in the month of August, it is very normal for us to have fewer homes for sale simply because it's the last month of summer. It's 1 month before fall market. And then once the fall market begins, back to school happens, back to work, vacations are over, you will notice that the number of listings available for sale will increase. So because we had fewer homes for sale, that could very well also be the reason why we had 15% more transactions, because that is a very big tick. On a month-over-month basis, since March, we've had fewer homes for sale every single month. It's declined every single month. And the month of August was the only month where we saw an uptick and by 15%, which is a pretty notary mention. Now, on a month-over-month basis, the average price for the average home did decrease ever so slightly. However, on a year-over-year basis, the price of the average home was up by 6.9%. So if you bought a house same time last year, your house is appreciated by 6.9%. Now, this whole paragraph right here just talks about how there is a massive increase in consumers. There is a massive demand for housing, and there is still very much an issue for the supply of housing. What they're not factoring here is the interest rate hike. Keep in mind, the interest rate hike is not to fight housing, it's to fight inflation. And it has an effect on housing for sure, but the Bank of Canada could really care less about what's happening in the housing market. Their sole purpose is to focus on inflation. And maybe if they were to be a little bit more considerate, things could be different. But unfortunately, what's happening right now and has happened this year has been out of all of our hands. Now, here we are, the average price of the average home in Durham region that's detached is this number. This is the average price of the average semi-detached in Durham. This is for a condo townhome, condo apartment, link home, and then a town home. Now, the biggest change that I saw was for detached homes that were not feasible for under $1 million. And I saw many different regions have detached homes available under $1 million. Now, here is a very unique stat. The average price for the average detached home in Oshawa was lower than Clarington. And the reason for that is because Oshawa has more housing available that's much older, which is detached homes, detached bungalows, whereas Clarington has a lot more newer inventory. In terms of numbers of sale, as always, Oshawa had the most residential sales, 237. Second up was Whitby with 157. Then we had Clarington with 153. Ajax and then Pickering saw fewer than 100 residential transactions in the month of August, which is crazy. Last year, the price of the average home was this much. The year before that, it was this much. As for last month, this is the average price so far this year. These are year-end numbers, and we're not fully at the year-end just yet. So guys, those are the stats that we have available to us right now. And it shares two things. First thing is that we did see an increase in residential transactions and in activity. I saw more multiple offers happen last month than in the past 6 months, let's say. And the changes might be in effect furthermore, because today we saw an interest rate hike of 75 basis points. And here's what you need to know about that. If you have a fixed rate mortgage, you're unaffected by these changes. If you have a variable rate mortgage, your payments will increase $40 every month for every $100,000 borrowed or owing on your mortgage. You might also fall into trigger rate mortgage now. And to calculate that, I want you to click on this video right here, where we brought on Toronto mortgage broker, a very sought after mortgage broker, and he will walk you through how to calculate trigger rate mortgage and how to work with it, tips and tricks to work with it. Right? If you got a pre-approval over the past 30 days and you did not get a rate hold, your pre-approval is affected. It will most likely reduce. And to find out by how much, contact your mortgage broker right away. And lastly, guys, we're led to believe that this is not the last interest rate hike. There's more coming because they're fighting inflation, not housing. Even though housing is becoming more unaffordable now with the interest rate hikes, they don't really care for that. They're fighting inflation straightforward. Right? So assess your budget within consideration of the worst case scenario that there could be one more rate hike coming this year. However, it's just speculation. I don't know for sure just yet, but definitely keep in the back of your mind when you're doing your calculation in buying your housing, or when you're doing your calculation in any other aspects of your life, cars, outings, luxuries, any other spending of your life, it would be a good idea to go through all of your expenses and see where you can cut back. And in a couple of days, I'm going to bring on a mortgage broker that will share 5 tips on what we can do today going forward to be able to be in a better financial situation in consideration of these changes. If you have any questions that you would like for me to ask that mortgage broker on our live call, which will be recorded, which I will share with you, please do shoot me an email. My email is in the description below, and I'll be sure to ask her when she comes online. Guys, as always, if you have any questions, reach out to me directly at the email in my description below, and I will catch you in the next video. Chat soon. Bye for now.